Hearing none, thank you very much. At this
Thank
time,
you.
I'll ask if anyone else, I see a gentleman has his hand up, if anyone else would like to testify from the audience. If you would, you may. Come on up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Would you state your name and tell us where you're from, whether you're an individual or from an organization?
Yeah, thank you. Dr. Daniel Muñoz. I'm a member of the State's Equity Council, speaking as an individual, as a resident of Pawtucket.
Doctor, would you just spell your last name for me,
Yes,
please?
M-U-N-O-Z, and there's a little line over the end.
A little line. And what organization, Doc?
So I'm speaking as an individual today, but I am on the State's Equity Council.
Okay, please,
Yes.
you may proceed. Welcome to the committee.
Thank you, thank you. So I appreciate all the comments that have been said. I agree. I just wanted to add that, beyond transparency, beyond considering all the factors that go into this in terms of economic class, boundaries, geography, when we talk about equity, I think it's important to acknowledge, for instance, in Pawtucket, where we saw a lot of biracial people, that we have a large Cape Verdean community that has been here for over 100 years. And that community has been disenfranchised from the voting process and frankly segregated altogether from every single system, including our education system. We've done very little for the Cape Verdean community. When we talk about Asians, it isn't only the east side. On the south side, we have Southeast Asians. We have Hmong, Laotian, Cambodians. And I just think it has to be very intentional for us to consider the needs of those communities and the need for representation. I want to put one thing into perspective. The COVID response, as it relates to equity, has been very difficult. We've had state contractors at every level not really understand the nuances of our various communities, diverse communities, and as a result, people have suffered. And I'm going to give one example in recent week. We have Rhode Island Housing supporting rent relief, Rhode Island. And currently there's an understanding that there is a need, but they haven't quantified what it is. So far, there's $50 million down the pipeline. But the assumption is that if you set up more clinics in communities and have language support services, that you can get more applications, therefore more money down the pipeline, 10% of which would justify administrative cost, right? The cost that goes into community organizations that do mutual aid work. The reason I'm detailing this is because it took a representative to start working this week on getting a legislative grant to do the work that a community should have ultimately been supported with by Rhode Island Housing had there been an equity focus, a lens. And if this commission doesn't consider these factors, these communities that have been historically disenfranchised beyond economic class, my concern is that we are not going to have a representative government in the state of Rhode Island. So I just wanted to add that, and thank you for the time.
Doctor, appreciate your testimony. I think it's been a loud and clear message from every member of the committee today that we're going to be as transparent as possible and try to reflect the diversity of the state and the changes as best we can. So, any questions for Dr. Nunez? No, thank you for coming up and speaking.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.